Thank you so much for coming on a working day, and that also, I think, fairly early. We had some suspicion about the choice of venue, the location, but we thought that we'll go with the ethos of the venue rather than the location of the venue. I think sometimes, which are tougher things to do, you should take the right path, not the easy path, I think. So I think we feel very privileged because the previous three Kutums were in those typical five-star hotels, and it seems so contrary that you're sitting in a building which is consuming air conditioning like hell, and you're talking about green, and you're talking about affordable. So it's quite a hypocrisy for us. So I think we've tried to clear that this time, and it's a beautiful structure. I'm sure you would all be appreciating. I think she doesn't need any introduction, but I thought that what should be the title slide. So I thought this should be the title slide, and no one is too small to make a difference. So this girl, just for reiterating or benefit for some who don't know, she's a 16-year-old Swedish girl. She started this endeavor of awareness for green, and she's saying that all the previous generations have messed up for her generation and the generations to come. So she thought that if the previous generation is not doing something, she has to do something. And so I think we're all responsible in this. And I think this is just a very small facet of it, what we can do here. If this one girl, I think it was on 19th of April, she had this, all the schools around the world, there were children who celebrated this climate day. And there were 1.9 million children across the world who participated and said the voice. She doesn't travel by plane. She only goes by train wherever she has to. So in one of the interviews I was reading that now they are seeing that how to cross the Atlantic, right? So she has to go to the United Nations headquarters. So how is she going to go? Because she's not going to go in the plane at all. And she's made her family vegan and stop using flights, right? So I think this says it all, that what all we need to do, and it's a real gone to a catastrophic level. I'm very honored to have such luminaries here sitting with us. We have grown with the Kutum ever since from day one, and Mr. Ashok Bilal, I would say that he's as much of Kutum family rather than someone who's been there in all the chapters, and under his guidance we have really learned so much and also guided us through. So thank you so much, sir, giving us that confidence when we were anonymous. Thank you, sir. Then we have Mr. V. Suresh, doesn't need introduction. Once I met him, first time when I met him, he came to our Delhi office, and I think we spent 1 hour, and the time just flew away. And he's a person with such rich experience, and I would say he's been the trigger for Green Revolution in India. So thank you so much, sir, for being here, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Meher Prasad, I happened to hear him in Lucknow in the urbanization event which happened last year. So he was giving his talk on the technology which he's going to talk about today as well. Extremely impressed, and thank you so much, sir, for making it, and we are really honored to have you, sir. Thank you so much. Then there's another organization we've joined hands with, which is EESL. And if today's papers you have read, EESL has signed up with AMC, this Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation, to create the EV infra in the entire city. So they're a phenomenal organization, and led by Mr. Saurabh Kumar, again, highly energetic, extremely positive, and I got a feeling of, not otherwise the PSUs don't have that, but he seems to be having that extra edge to get things done, and he moves really fast. Thank you, Mr. Rakra, for coming. And if you have heard of Ujala program, here we have the guy who made it happen. Thank you so much. Right? And then we have Mr. Spandan, who represents IFC. We've been working with IFC right from day one. Shruti has been part of 3 chapters earlier as well. She couldn't make it today. So Spandan, thank you for coming. Thank you so much. So as already in that AV was suggested, we as an organization feel that complete profitability is the vision for us to go as an organization. It can't be gone are those days of financial profits alone. Today, I think we are in a complete profitability zone. I was if you might have read about this New Zealand Prime Minister. So now in the budget, it is not a financial budget you have to provide. You have to provide a complete budget, which has to talk about happiness of people. It has to talk about family values and others. So in every budget, you have to show what you are allocating, how it's going to impact the lives of people there. Right. So I think the world has moved very differently. So we think we needed to have something to represent our ethos of what we want to become. We may not be anywhere close to what we want to become, but at least we have a vision statement in front of us about complete profitability, which is our ESG initiative. And within that, the environment part, we have Kutum. I'm sure everybody is aware the challenge is there a lot, and the lack of infrastructure, how the construction is coming up. And we realized that there was a huge gap in the awareness, knowledge, and other aspects of green affordable housing. And this actually got triggered with the NHB. We have representation from CRISIL, who are representing for the AFD fund as well. So I am sure they are there in the audience. So that's when we realized that when you're talking about green affordable in this country, there's hardly any. So we thought we could be the ones to, before we finance it, we have to be the ones to take the knowledge forward for that. So we created this platform, and we got everybody together. Where we feel is that everybody wants it, but nobody knows it how. So there are dots, everybody standing in islands, but this island has to be got together to make it happen. So I think maybe in a not so structured way, but I think slowly we are moving in that direction. And our endeavor is not just about holding these workshops. We want to go much more than that. Eventually, if anyone goes, once they have these events, if they get interested about knowing more about this, we have our Green Value Partner team with us, which is headed by Amor. So we are not going talking, we are saying execution as well. So we have set up our own Green Architect team in-house, where we will ensure, if you are keen to develop this project, right from the conception to design to understanding the financial impact to everywhere, and the final certification is what they will ensure that they will walk you through. Because ultimately, if the lots of time, what feedback we got was a lot of people signed up. First of all, they didn't sign up. Then a lot of them signed up, but along the journey of making the project, they fell off. The final certification was not attained or was not achieved. Right? So we've thought that we'll have to be walking the journey. Obviously, it takes us away from our core business of finance, but we feel that today you have to extend yourself forward or backward integration if you want to make a difference, and also have a larger impact on the overall value and how you are seen as an organization vis-a-vis others. And we have a target set for ourselves. We would be ensuring the certification. We would also be partnering on the finance side as well, which later my colleagues will be talking about. So you're saying by 2023, we would like to have at least 300 such projects, which will be covered under this, which may or may not be financed by us on the construction finance level. Individual finance level we'll do, which will cover about 80 lakh square meters. It could have some 90,000 units, and the kind of impact it can do is there for you to see. 30% energy saving, 40% of water saving, and 35% of embodied energy. This is our goal which we have set out to achieve through this Kutum, and from there taking the leads and to make it happen. And we are very confident, and the kind of response we have got is so amazing, and I'm sure we will take it to that level. And just to say that we are not going to stop here. After these events, we are also working with Mr. Ashok Lal to create a green handbook, where we are putting together all the 4 climatic zones, trying to put together all the design elements which you can have, what are the cost impacts for each of them. Also collaborating now, we've got ESL also part of this on water management. Also we are involving another consultant, the water consultant for this. So hopefully somewhere in mid of August, we'll come up with a first version, I would say, that's a better word, first version of this handbook, which we will like to share with everyone. And I think what we saw was that what is lacking is the comprehensive information availability. And along with that, we will provide the physical support to walk you that path. So we are ensuring that we'll go end to end for that. So as you know, nearly we have covered about 200 developers hopefully today we should cross 300 developers with the participation today. So I think that's the journey we would like to take through for Kutum as well. And these have been some of our partners who've been working with us ever since. Climate Bond Initiative is the one representative. They are not there. They are the global certification entities for green bonds. We have GIZ, which is a German government entity which talks about materials. They were there with us in the Pune Kutum. So we're trying to put together. ADB also we had in Pune. Susan, who heads this initiative in India, she was part of this. So we have got very, very global participants for this. And hopefully when all the like-minded brains will get together, we should be able to create a revolution. This is a quick journey. I will not take long on here. This is the IIFL Home Finance journey. So we are also very active in the affordable housing space and financing. We are one of the largest proponents of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, which is CLSS. So we have nearly financed about 30,000 customers with nearly 700 crores of subsidy given to them. So we are a very, very active proponent of that as well. These are some financial numbers of us. We have a book of about 18,000 crores. Our profit after tax for this year was more than 300 crores, which we had, and we've been growing pretty consistently. So we are a very technology savvy entity at a finance level. So we are today we can get loans turnaround decision at the customer place in 40 to 50 minutes. So we are very high on digital in every sphere. We are fairly well spread out. Affordable housing I have already discussed, and we use high element of data analytics and technology for risk management and collection as well. This is how we spread across the country, and this is where we are as far as Karnataka goes. So we are fairly trying to further penetrate our reach in and Karnataka as well. As I said, we are a very digital company. And this, I would say, like Kutum, this is one of the first HFCs I can proudly say, which does this onboarding, decisioning at the customer side in 40 to 50 minutes. So this is completely captive, in-house developed technology, which we've been able to do. And we use a high amount of data analytics to take a final credit decision untouched by any credit person. On the society side, finally, we have given, I think, the interesting part is because we finance so many of CLSS, they are the first home buyers. So far we have given 65,000 homes. We feel very proud of it. And these would all be people where household incomes would be below 40,000 or 50,000 per month, right? 46,000 of them have had women co-owners in this. Nearly 20,000 people we have financed in the informal income, the people who would be devoid of credit, otherwise in the formal credit regime. And typically, as per the matrix which is provided, we have provided 17 lakh job opportunities as the data which is published by the government to analyze basis on the new homes. So this has been our journey, and thank you so much, and may you enjoy, and really we would love all of you to ask questions. I can assure you these people sitting here don't come easy in such close quarters. And I was very happy to see when I met one of the developers, he said, I've got my architect also along. So we see that we are evolving. We see that people are really wanting to do this. And I think there's a need out there. And I hope you really take back some learnings out of this and you have a good event. Thank you so much.